Alright, so last episode we finally got our Lucario. Poofruff finally evolved. This episode we're going to keep plodding down Route 214. We'll take out the trains we can see, and then we'll go back and deal with Veilstone Gym. I sensed the presence of a trainer for a while. It was you. So between episodes, because you may have noticed that the time moved on like an hour from the previous week's episode, I decided I was going to go make some lunch. Just made like a ham and cheese grilled sandwich and like a handful of crisps, Doritos, whatever. And I came back and I didn't notice straight away. But after I'd eaten, I'd realized, oh, that my video is still recording. What's happening, right? So, I stopped the video and go and take a look at what happened. And yeah, it turns out that while I had gone upstairs to make the sandwich, that one of the cats had decided that they were going to go and stand all over the keyboard and mouse. And that's how it got turned on, I guess. I'll probably make it like a little YouTube short or something if I remember, just so I can show it. Yeah, this is why you can't have nice things. Can't have nice things. There's always somebody in there. Oh dear. Yeah, not like you broke anything or anything, so we could all just have a laugh about it. But he had one job: don't touch the laptop, right? Apparently, it was a too difficult a job for him. Oh dear. Alright, so that Duskull has bitten the dust, and because we have a shell bell attached to grapes now, we'll heal as we do damage. We don't have Giga Drain on our side, we only have Petal Dance, so it's nice to get some type of passive health recovery on top of Leech Seed. And I'm not sure how much damage we're going to do against Kadabra. We did use Growth one time. Oh, enough to do a one-shot. You'd love to see that, because that's 2 special attack EVs going Grapes' way, and we all know it needs it. Because it's fully evolved now, as depressing as it looks. Defeating you, no easy matter. Especially when you have no Pokemon left, matey. This route, one of the NPCs does mention that it's a very chewed up road, but boy oh boy is it an ugly mess. Ugly mess. For the sake of my collection, I take on people I know I can't beat. That's what a collector does. That sounds like more something just a not very good trainer does, honestly, but sure. Definitely want to battle this guy, though, because he has evolutions, which tend to be hard to find otherwise. That's frustrating, though. Please hit with Leech Seed. Okay. So it doesn't matter how many sand attacks it uses, at least we're not going to just be completely incapable of hitting. So at least there's that. I don't remember if this terrain is Earthquake or Rock Slide with Nature Power, so let's find out. Ah, it's Rock Slide. And we're going to miss. I was hoping it would be Earthquake. So obviously then it would be super effective. Alas, no. You'll have to let me know if you have cats or pets in general, if they've ever done anything particularly weird or interesting. I always like to know things like that, so put that down in the comments below if you don't mind. I would appreciate reading. I will send out cheese. Yeah, the other couple of cats that we have are upstairs in our bedroom at the moment. One of them in particular is incredibly needy, so if he's downstairs when I'm recording, I would say there's about a 1 in 2 chance every video that is going to get interrupted due to cat reasons. So he wanted to go hide in our bedroom, so I was more than happy to oblige. He'll just sleep on our bed anyway and make weird piano gestures. You know what it is when they do the kneading. Be a piano cat. Alright, Vaporeon is next. Big bulky. Did we get sand attacked? I'm just worried because Confusion's going to do absolutely nothing, but Vaporeon gives health EVs anyway, so I guess we'll just switch out. I think the way Vaporeon's sprite sits in Platinum is adorable. I know it's an optical illusion. It's not as if it's just, really getting its front paws out And it's just sitting normally, but its tail happens to be in front. It's kind of forced perspective, but I still think it's cute. But this shows how bulky it is. It doesn't have a very high base defense or anything, Vaporeon, but it just has so much health with a base 130 that it is a pain in the bum to take out. You'll also have to let me know in the comments which your favorite evolution is. It doesn't have to be one that's in this game necessarily, because I know there are more since. Or at least one more since, I guess. But yeah, you'll have to let me know. I've got a soft spot for Espeon personally, but I like them all. Can we hit with Spark? There we go. Unfortunately, then we have Flareon last, which is... It got the rough end of the stick, put it that way. And you can show how much less bulky it is in terms of its defensive capacity, because that did about the same amount of damage as it did to Vaporeon, and it's not super effective. Having said that, we're going to have to switch out, or you're going to bite the dust. We don't have... So, fire-type defense is something we're going to struggle with, especially physical fire-type defense, because Virtue and Boofaroff are both weak to fire, as is Grapes. Not that I'd be sending Grapes in for this anyway, why would it want attack EVs? Scramble has no physical defense at all, so it's really quite tricky, so maybe we'll just stay in and we'll hope. Oh, Quick Claw went off for no reason, unless it's using Quick Attack, I guess. But no, we're good. We were worrying over nothing. Nothing at all. That attack right then was remarkable. You ought to be proud of it. Thank you, weird guy. I take pride in having Pokemon that others don't. Also, I'm proud about winning second prize in one of Jubilife TV's drawings. Good for you, bro. We're not going to go down to Valor Lakefront. I don't think we'll need to. There is a held item there. I guess we should grab it just because we're here. We're not in the generation where it's going to be a wild fungus pretending. Nor is it going to be a Voltorb. I'm just going to take you out. Yeah, I know you're a defense EV, but it's better than having nothing, I guess. There we go. Not a huge amount of experience, but it's fine. And we get a red shard, used to teach tutor moves, which we do not need to worry about right now. Hi, mouse. Had to cough for a minute there, and I'm pretty sure you didn't want to hear it. So, Sandwich fights back. I travel all over the world in search of mysteries. And he has a shield on, does Buddy? Not particularly worried about that. He only has one Pokemon, so there's no point setting up. We will use Leech Seed though, just because I'm not sure if we'll be able to cleanly two-shot shield on. Oh, or even if we're going to stay in. We're just going to run out and switch to a Pokemon that probably can take this out in one hit. Shield on, all defense, and pretty much nothing else. It's really a shame because when it evolves, it still only has like base 60 attack or something terrible. And even lower special attack, but its move pool is absolutely fantastic. So it's like Game Freak knew that this Pokemon was going to stink, but gave it all the other tools that it can't use. It's sad. Come on, hurry up. We do have the option, if we wanted to speed the game up a bit. But my concern about that is that the sound of the game will also get sped up and it will sound terrible. So instead, we're just going to play nice and slowly and chill and have a good time. Hopefully you're watching, just enjoying yourself. I mean, this is, you know, it's literally Dan has fun. So hopefully you're able to replicate the having fun bit. We've got another collector hiding out in the grass there, but we'll get him in just a sec. Aha! I found me a trainer. I challenge you to battle with the Pokemon I've found. This is what happens when you're a pirate and you turn into an archaeologist, I guess. Yar, it's Brian. With a Bronzor, something we can't do anything to as grapes. So we'll do the exact same thing. We'll put Leech Seed on it, or we'll try and fail, I guess. And it's also going to fail with Imprison. Again, not a move that you'll see in-game as being particularly useful. Kind of trolly move to use competitively. If you have Imprison, your other 3 moves that you have, if the opponent has any of those, they can't use them. So in-game, irrelevant, because there's just so many different moves that you're likely to see. Competitively, you're not likely to see anywhere near as much variety. So it can have its use in certain situations, but I've never personally really gone after it. And speaking of moves that have some weird utility use, Extra Sensory, back in Generation 4, that move had 30 PP. And don't get me wrong, it's not as good as Psychic. It's 10 base power less, and it has a 10% chance of flinch instead of reducing special defense, which obviously if you're a Bronzor is useless because you're never going to go first. But in game, having 30 PP can arguably be more useful. Just going to, there we go, do that just while we're waiting for Bronzor to pass. Trying to reduce at least some of the glare that's coming from the glasses. Like, it's horrendous. Not much I can do about it, but it's pretty bad. Cranidos is probably going to take out Virtue in one shot, but let's see if you can take it out. It gives attack EVs, so I'd quite like it to take it out if it can. Cranidos has the other end of the stat spectrum. It's another Pokemon that really has great moves for what it is, but is still fatally flawed. It only has attack when it evolves into Rampardos. It has an enormous attack stat, don't get me wrong, but it has attack and nothing else. There's no bulk, there's no speed, it's not a good defensive typing. Yeah, the fossils in this generation got shafted pretty hard. I guess at this point, honestly, we should get Scramble up front. That is not what I meant to click. Try that again. There you go. Alrighty. We're not going to go in there on our bike. To find my favorite Pokemon, I'll go east, west, or any which way. What about north or south? Maybe you can only follow the equator. Come on, Jamal, what have you got? He's got a Porygon. That thing we couldn't pick up because we didn't have any Pokemon space. He's a cool guy. Actually, a really cool Pokemon. I'm not as enamored with its Gen 4 evolution, Porygon Z/Z, depending where you're from. But Porygon 2 is awesome. I like a lot of the duck Pokemon in Pokemon games, but I think Porygon 2 is my overall favorite. Porygon will attack with special attacks, so we can't use counter. So we're going to take out Cheese out there. Possibly just try and put it to sleep, because it did copy Serene Grace off us, so we do need to be a little bit careful. That means if it has Thunderbolt, for example, as its move, well, one of its attacking moves, it'll have a 20%, not 10, at causing paralysis. So ideally, I'd rather just put it to sleep. Ah, well, that's not a move we have to worry about. We're not attacking you with a ground move, so that Magnet Rise is irrelevant. It just seems determined to not attack us anyway, so it's got Agility, Magnet Rise, Agility. I notice it has yet to hit itself with Confusion. At least we hit with Hypnosis. Yeah, I'm going to have to set an alarm for myself one day to be like, oh, log in at 8 or 9 or something, and record a couple of videos, see if you can get cheese to evolve. Wow, that was a ton of damage. I'm surprised how much that did. Naturally, they got to wake up at the earliest possible time in this gen, but finally it hit itself in confusion. Better late than never. Scrambles level 25. Cheese, still level 30. Jamal defeated, but they're rare Pokemon. And in back-to-back episodes, we get an evolution. Remember, I remembered to add the oval stone. I still thought it was an evolution stone that you had to use, but I was wrong. And it means, after this episode, I'm going to have to go and edit the banner again. Yippee! Scramble is evolving. Their version's probably better. And then we got a Chansey, just a happy little guy, or gal. Now, we should have a quick look at Chansey. Hi Scramble, how are you doing? Incredibly happy. It's because she's quirky. I'm gonna sneeze. Muted just in time. all the mouth functions and nose functions. I'm coughing, we'll have sneezing. Ah, dear, dear. You can go a whole day without sneezing once, and then you try and record YouTube videos, and it's like, oh, time for the fun. Alright, so if we look at Scramble's stats, well, its attack is still atrocious. That will stay the same forever. In terms of other stats, defense will still be terrible, but at least now we have a special attack stat that's higher than its level. So, really, it hasn't changed a huge amount. And Chansey's move pool is abysmal in terms of its natural level up moves. So we can teach it a few different things just for utility's sake. It does learn Shockwave. I can guarantee that nothing else we are going to be teaching. No other Pokemon's going to want that. Technically, we can teach it to Cheese, but we're not going to teach it to Cheese. Cheese has far more going for it than getting a 60 base power electric move. Maple doesn't want it, even though it gets same type attack bonus. It's a special attack, so no thank you. So we're just going to give it to Scramble so that she at least has an attacking move that she can do something with. And we're getting rid of Pound. That is... I'd like to say it's outlived its usefulness, but... has it ever been useful? I don't think so. We could technically teach it Grass Knot as well, but we'll stick to just the one TM for now. And we have to decide what item are we going to give our little egg-shaped friend. Is anything in here of any use whatsoever? We could just give it a heart scale because it's cute, not that it would do anything. I don't really think we have a huge amount to give it. Yeah, so all I'm going to do for now is just give it the cleanse tag. That doesn't give it any combat proficiency bonuses or anything. Just means when Chansey's out front, we'll get a few less encounters. You ever see a weird piece of not grass like that? It's almost always got an item in it, so we got a Razor Fang. We've still got an encounter though. And it's a Pokemon we can't use Shockwave on, so I'm out as our two very round Pokemon encounter one another. What we got in here? The Magmarizer. You need it to evolve Magmar. We're not going to be using Magmar, so not particularly helpful for us, but at least you get it fairly early on in the game, so at least there's that. Last thing we want to go into on this route. Ruin Maniac Cave. You get the TM for Dig. Now, it is a 2-turn attack, which not ideal, unless you are planning intentionally to just stall out and do nothing else. The other thing too, it is base 80 power, so it's good, but it's not absolutely amazing. We don't need to teach it to Boofruff. The only other thing really going for Dig is its utility. If you use Dig while you're in a cave, it'll take you out like an escape rope does. Everyone calls me the Ruin Maniac. Nearly said it like Stewie Griffin. Ruin. I don't care what they call me. I'll just keep on chipping away at the rock wall little by little. Do you know why? I'm a Ruin Maniac who is fascinated by the unknown. I know it's a little sudden, but how about you and me have a race? You go and catch the unknown, I'll keep digging away. We'll see who gets done faster. So, as you collect more unknown, which we're not doing because we're not just catching random Pokemon for the sake of argument, he will, as you catch more and more, he will tunnel more and more through. It makes it look like a race, but ultimately it's just tied to how many you catch. It's not as if, you know, you have a clock and you've got 20 in-game hours to do it of anything. That would possibly have been a bit more fun, but that's not how it is. Anyway, let's go heal. Yes, I would like to rest my Pokemon. Thank you muchly. And we are going to go head to the gym. Needless to say, we are not leaving Scramble out front for that. So before I even forget, let's move them. So what's our plan of attack here before we go in the gym? Virtue is going to be pretty much useless. Bug is not very effective on fighting. Scramble is going to be completely useless. Has no physical defense at all, is weak to fighting. Boofruff will likely outspeed everything in that gym, but is weak to fighting, so not ideal. Maple is not weak to fighting, but doesn't have a super effective move either, really only has Intimidate going for it. And then we have Cheese. Cheese will do very well against this gym, but in an ideal world, we don't want to use Cheese for everything, because all that will result in is Cheese acquiring absolutely tons and tons of attack effort values, which will stop it getting it in stats it needs and would benefit from. So we're going to try and alternate between a few of them, so we don't end up just getting all the attack EVs on one Pokemon specifically. We're going to take out a few of the trainers, and then we'll see what health our team's at and take it from there. We're the Karate Quads. I will strike a blow for love with my fist. Hiya! You may be able to work out based on that, there are 4 trainers in here that are not the gym leader. And we start off with an incredibly purple Machoke. You may be looking at the level and going, well, did you over-prepare a little bit? And the answer is absolutely not no. Because this part of the game starts to accelerate rather quickly. So, difficulty curves in Pokemon games can be quite inconsistent. If we compare this to, say, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, that game is an absolute cakewalk through the gym through the gym leaders. In particular, because you can't turn the XP share off without a mod, so that's rather inconvenient. But then you get to the Elite Four and the Champion, and the curve, that's going almost flat in difficulty, but going up fractionally over time, then gets the Elite Four, and it's like that. The way this game goes is that, the first 2 or 3 gyms are pretty easy by and large. But then you end up getting 3 or 4 gyms quite quickly in a row. So it does get a bit trickier for a bit. It does also help that the bad guy plot, it fits quite well in terms of difficulty curve with this game. If you want to think about an example where that certainly doesn't happen, think back to Gold and Silver, where the Team Rocket segments were a joke by the time they get to the radio tower. The radio tower should have been the most exciting part of that game. Really. Well, one of them. But in reality, you end up showing up there with Pokemon that are nearly level 40 and beating up Team Rocket with level 19 to 23 Pokemon mostly. It makes no sense. So it's just press A until everything in front of you dies. This Machoke is level 27. So, yeah. The gym tends to average into the mid-20s here. At least for the gym trainers, anyway. Your Pokemon sure are tough, but our gym leader, Maylene, will break you like a stack of bricks. I would have thought that would be pretty difficult as a stack of bricks, but who knows? This is a dead end. You can't go over the tiles that are kind of like the fuzzies from Paper Mario. You can't touch those. What is annoying about this gym? So, you remember in Gen 5 in Chargestone Cave, where there were those blue stones where if you push them in the wrong direction they don't move, but you still have to wait for the whole animation to happen? These punching bags do that as well. So be prepared for just waiting if you misclick. I will strike a blow for courage with my fist. He must have been a fan of the TV show as well. That was a weird TV show, Courage the Cowardly Dog. That was a very, very weird show. A cool show, I enjoyed it, but what a weird show that was. Disappointed that wasn't a one-shot. We were identified, though, so everything's going to be okay. Makes me think about all the other weird cartoons I used to watch as a kid. So, like, your Johnny Bravo, which would definitely not fly in TV today. But he's sure being just overtly chauvinistic and sexist is not exactly what you should have on your cartoons nowadays. Then things like Cow and Chicken or Dexter's Lab. There were some good cartoons back then. Oh, that's inconvenient. Okay, Maple being paralyzed. Do not want. Well, Virtue doesn't have the issue of its attack being resisted here, because Meditite's part psychic. Oh, wow. So yeah, this Meditite paralyzes one Pokemon and crits the other. Pretty darn rude, I would say. Anyway, Virtue's up to level 26. That is pretty much the carbon copy of what our level ups are going to look like for this Pokemon forever. It can learn Slash. Technically, it is better than Cut, but I can't unlearn Cut because it's HM. It'll say, HM moves can't be forgotten now. We can't actually get rid of that. So for now, we're just going to say cancel it. It's not like it can be super effective. It's a normal type attack. Can we put you to sleep, please? I don't know if Machoke knows a rock type move at this stage. I know in terms of physical attacks that the Machop family can learn, they are a little bit limited. At least in-game. The AI trainers don't use egg moves or anything like that. And I guess we'll just show Lucario off. Even with a base 60 attack, like Force Palm is, it should be a 2-hit KO, I would imagine. I mean, Spark was from a Luxio, and Luxio does not have anywhere near as much of attack power. So, yeah, it is. Okay, perfect. There we go. Always wondered why Force Palm has such a low amount of PP, relatively speaking. Even Brick Break has 15, and that's base power 75. I couldn't force my way to victory. No, but you can force me into my item bag, because we're going to have to deal with the fact that our Luxio had its day mildly inconvenienced. There we go. Get a lava cookie on you. Beautiful. To overwhelm by force, this is my ideal beatdown style. It doesn't seem to work that way with Pokemon, however. No kidding, buddy. So we talked about it earlier. Rampardo, so that was the case, would be the best Pokemon in the game. I'll strike a blow for hope with my fist. I don't think this Karate Quad has quite as much prestige because he doesn't get a boxing ring to himself. And he has a Croagunk. I don't like Croagunk. I don't really like Toxicroak either. It's an okay shiny color. It kind of looks like weird toothpaste when it's shiny. But this Pokemon doesn't really do it for me. We're going to see a lot of it though, so I hope it does more for you than it does for me. This Pokemon will be very common. This is paralyzed. I don't really want to hit myself with confusion. Is there anything... I'm just going to put Virtue in. Didn't think we'd be getting a lot of experience for our bug type in the fighting gym, but turns out it's getting more than I thought. This is quad resisted, Krogunk being a poison fighting type, but you had no health, so it doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. Maple's up to level 30. Fantastic. There's Machoke again, so we're going to do exactly the same thing we did before. We're going to try to put it to sleep, and then we're going to switch out. Which, this time, we didn't get a miss. Whether that's because this Machoke has no guard at its ability, or we just got lucky, I don't know, but I'm not going to look that gift horse in the mouth. There we go. Alright, so we have that into motion. Yeah, so that's the gym trainers in this gym really aren't that bad. Maylene will be a little bit trickier, just because of her ace Pokemon. But other than that, this is going to be okay. And we'll get to deal with some more plot in the near future too. We came up short, but not by much. I would say by quite a lot. Hooray! We get to have another evolution. I'm glad about it because it means I get to update the banner once for 2 Pokemon. It'll save me 4 or 5 minutes of time. I know, massive time save. Okie dokie. So now we have Luxray, the electric type that should definitely be electric dark, but isn't. That would make it a far more usable Pokemon. If it was electric dark, there'd be a lot more going for Luxray. Alright. This has a little bit of the Rampardo syndrome, where it's pretty much exclusively attack power and not a huge amount else. It has at least some... I mean, this is an adamant nature, so its special attack is going to be a bit lower than the default would be anyway. But it's kind of mediocre at everything except attack. Its speed will probably be good enough to outspeed a lot of the dangerous Pokemon in this game. But being a mono-electric type that doesn't use its special attacking stat in Gen 4... terrible. Just the worst. Alright, what I'm going to do then, now that we've had a second evolution, our final quad member, who is over there, we'll battle him next time, and then we'll go through the rest of this puzzle. Because I hate this puzzle. I like the idea, but it just looks so muddy and confusing. Anyway, we will do the rest of it next episode. I appreciate you hanging around till the end. If you did, give us the old like. Take care. Thank you much. Thank you muchly. Thank you for watching the video, and if you'd like to see more, feel free to stick around.